Hello, happy Thursday morning. Well, I guess it'd be like late morning for me, early afternoon. I want to welcome you, Cats Creations and more. Felt like a flasher just now. I'm out in my shop. I've attempted to get the shop temperature up. When I came out here this morning, it was somewhere hovering around 33, and right now it's like 47. So it's tolerable, but I'm going to be wearing my jacket because it is still super cold. It's hard to heat 800 square feet in a metal building. So those are things that we'll be working on when the temperatures warm up and try to find a way to keep the heat in. So if this is your first time joining, let me say welcome. Let me know where you're from. I'd like to welcome you. We have so many people that join on a Facebook Live that who knows, you might just find a crafting person here that lives in a town somewhat close to you. Trying to readjust all my heaters too. So today we're going to be making a new chicken wreath with some fabulous deco mesh that I found that just came out this year. So I thought it'd be a unique twist on our chicken wreath, and we're going a little darker. Not darker like color darker. So we're going to be trending in browns, blacks, and tans instead of like white, reds, and blues. So a little bit of a different theme there. So if you like this design and want to replicate it at a later date, once you have all your materials handy, or you just want to be able to have this available when you want to put a chicken inspired wreath together, click the share button down below. That share button allows that video to pop over to your page, and you can watch it at your leisure whenever you need it. YouTube subscribers, it's a little bit different because you're going to get this version of an earlier Facebook video, but we are working on that too. And I know I've said that countless times, but seriously, we are working on it after all the headaches we had with all the upgrades to Microsoft, or not Microsoft, Facebook and Microsoft and Mevo not talking together. So we're looking at some options of maybe doing a like a combined, multi-stream is what they call it, so that we can go live in both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. But I'm going to need to get computer equipment out here, and right now it's just too cold. Everything in my shop that is made of plastic, if it sits here too long in the cold, it becomes brittle. And then when you go to attempt to use it, it snaps like crazy. So we've been migrating a lot of our filming equipment back into the house when we're done. So it's a constant, you know, in and out. But hopefully when temperatures warm up in like April, May-ish, we should be good. So let me pan you guys down so I can show you what we're working on today. So give me 1 second while we do that. I'm just going to take you down so you can see things as though you were sitting here with me, across the table with me. And we're, like I said, the color palette that we're going with today is black, brown, and tan. Where did that inspiration come from? I'm always looking for new color palettes for chicken inspired wreaths, but we have a darker Farm Sweet Farm, and this is in a chocolate brown, which I love chocolate. So we're going to be using this as a sign from Craft Outlet. I believe they still have them in stock. I think they were on clearance when I last checked, so you just never know. So that's going to be our sign inspiration. And then look at this gorgeous deco mesh. Isn't this just beautiful? I am going to kick myself if I can't find more of this, because I'm thinking of future designs. This would be great for fall. It'd also be really good for Easter to do a chocolate bunny wreath, like a total chocolate bunny wreath. That would just be amazing. So this is from Craft Outlet. That's where you can pick this up. It is an ombre mesh that goes from black to brown to tan, so we're using that today. It is a fabric mesh, which means that we cannot cut it with our wood burning tool. We have to use rotary cutters. So we're going to go ahead and get started. This is a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame, which we're going to just wire together the last of the 5 sections I've already done. And we're going to start, I'm just color coding these because they look pretty. So we're going to start in between each of the sections. We have a weld that separates them. So we're going to take our pipe cleaner. We're going to wire this together as soon as I can and get this functioning. There we go. Wire together the two innermost right in the center. And then we're going to take our other two colors, the beige and the brown, and I'm going to use this and the weld mark and try to find a halfway point between the last two outside rails. And we're going to wire them together. This gives some stability to your frame and your design. And then we're going to do the same on the other side, just like so. This way, it gives you 6 on the inside, 12 to the outside for a grand total of 18. So, let me get my comments pulled up because I am flying solo today. So, let me make sure I got comments popping. Hi, Pam. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Kelly. Welcome. Hi, Audrey. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Iva and LB. And like I said, as you come on in and say hi. We're going to go ahead and get started. I like to always start with my center. I don't know where that came from. Hi, Misty. Welcome from Justin, Texas. So we are going to take the tightest curls. I like to use the tightest ones and put them on the inside. We're going to picture an invisible line right at the center. And we're going to pull our deco mesh towards us. And we're going against the curl. So the way that it was on the form, we're kind of pulling that towards us, but we're putting it face down onto our frame. So it's going to go tuck right in here. Finished edges towards the inside, just like so. We're going to give it a couple twists, and then I'm going to go ahead and remove this inside one here. Just because with the embellishments that we have, our bow and our sewing, I really don't think I'll be able to squeeze anything else in. So I'm preparing for that. Now we're going to go ahead and just tackle the next pipe cleaners we come to. So we're starting with the right outside in the section. Doing the same thing, just pulling that towards us. Some people call this a scrunch. It's technically called the ruffle method. Some people refer to it as the bow tie method. All of the answers are exactly the same. So I'm taking the outside piece and I'm putting it over the top of the inside piece. Okay? And then because there's no inside piece between these two, we need to kind of fill that gap a little bit. So we're going to take the edges. I like to put the edges, like kind of fold them down. And then we're going to place them so that they kind of create a little covering for the next one. So that as it lays down on top, it has that coverage underneath. Although this mesh is already providing its own great coverage. Hi, Missy. I'm so happy I caught you live. I missed everyone. I missed the comment. I took some time off because of my health, but I'm back now. Hey, there is nothing wrong with that. You know, we got to do what we got to do to get back in. And sometimes we just need to take a break. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm taking the edges, the cut edges, and folding them down just like this, and overlapping the other one. And then I always move my pipe cleaners to the left. That way it doesn't interfere with the next one. So we're back to an inside. So I'm going to use a tighter curl for that. I love our Thursday morning lives. It's just calm and it's peaceful. It's right before the weekend. You don't have to worry about missing any of the lives. And for those of you that are going to catch this later, I guess that would help, huh, Phyllis? Phyllis asks, how long are the pieces cut? These are cut to 20-inch pieces. So you need 18 of them. That means that you'll only need one roll of deco mesh, which is a huge savings. But I have to tell you, though, this deco mesh is a little on the pricier side, but I think it's worth it. The coverage is just going to be amazing. So 18 20-inch pieces cut with a rotary cutter. So see, this is our inside piece. We want to make sure that this goes under our outside pieces. Questions been posed in the past. Can you put in all your inside pieces first and then put all your outside pieces on? Absolutely. This is just what works for me. So I'm going to push the inside piece to the side so that I have access to our outside pipe cleaner on the right. Prep it for our next piece. So excited to see what this is going to look like. What do you guys think of it going darker? Kind of deviates away from the black and white, the blues, the reds that you're used to seeing with Farmhouse. So again, as we're trending towards our other end, I want to make sure that our pieces are prepped. We have this one getting ready to lay over our next outside piece, and pipe cleaners to the left. Whoops. Oh, Sandra says, I love your choice of mesh for this method. Awesome. Yeah, I think I'm going to be going back in and looking this color up and picking up a couple extra rolls, because I would love to use this in the fall, because I would love to do a dark fall wreath, like ones with like burgundies and browns instead of the traditional red, orange, and yellow ones. Okay, pipe cleaners to the left. I need a tight curl now. Now my feeders are getting a little too hot. I have like 2 space heaters, one that's tabletop to the left that helps keep the uppers warm, and then I have one on the floor that helps keep the bottom part warm. And then just before the live, I do my overhead heater, which works really, really well, but I didn't get out here quick enough, and I didn't realize the temperatures were going to drop so much last night. Usually it takes about 2 hours of having the fans on or the heaters on continually to get it to about 50. And 50 is good for being out here. Okay. So again, I'm just readjusting the outside piece to go over my inside piece. Removing my pipe cleaners. Prepping this one so it's ready to go. How do I keep my mesh straight when doing those ruffles? Mine goes every which way. And Misty did reply to that. Put your thumbs together on the back of the mesh. That is true. Somebody said that they just got ribbon at Sam's, Misty, that would go perfect with that. I have not seen that. See, if you look, I keep my a weighted pair of pliers on my mesh to kind of keep it from going every which way. And then I just really keep it in a tight bunch until I can get it into the frame. Like so. And then spread that out. I'm so excited to show you guys new designs. I have a new design coming next week. So, new design coming on Tuesday for Easter. I got all my stuff in. And I got new florals in from Greenery Market. So, we're going to have lots of new florals coming. I had to pre-order all the fall stuff, because I want to make sure that I have some really pretty fall florals. I guess I should go back, though, and look for new browns. Darker florals to pair with doing a darker colored fall wreath. I've had some customers ask for that. They want a darker fall design over the standard. So again, readjust everything. Move your pipe cleaners to the side. Grab a tighter one for the inside, because the tighter ones can stay. Jacqueline, the mesh is cut to 20-inch pieces. So you'll use one complete roll of Deco Mesh, cutting 18 20-inch pieces. And you'll have to use the rotary cutter to cut these, because it is fabric mesh, and then it's all it's either cotton or jute fibers in this mesh. We're also going to change up how we've done the chicken wreaths in the past. We're still going to add some of our chicken embellishments, but I'm going to do some different ideas. I'm going to make sure we get this one up and over. But look at the coverage. That coverage is just like spot on. I don't think the coverage could get any better. I mean, look. There's the coverage on this mesh, just trying to see through the gray cutting mat below. You can still see through it, but it is, I would call this premium fabric mesh, if I had to label it, because the fibers are done so well that there's no gaping holes. And you guys know I love fabric mesh. So outside, tuck that down. We're going to tuck this down. Make sure we have the coverage from the inside one. And then we have to mirror this for our outside lefty. So we want to bring that down, bring that over, so you have good coverage. Darla, what and where is that mesh from? So this is an ombre fabric mesh from Craft Outlet. That's all it said was fabric mesh. And it is a black, brown, and tan Deco mesh. And it trends on the pricier side. I want to say it's like somewhere between $10 to $12 for the mesh. So I'm just using different colors and different mesh. Because when I saw this, I was like, ooh. And then I matched the sign. I was like, okay. These are going to look really good together. I'm trying to find a tidy curl one. And here we have it. So I think the whole key in keeping your mesh flat is just way down the top side so that you can pull it. See, mine still goes side to side. Here's our inside piece. I think this one's going to be too pretty to put outside with the chickens. I think it's going to be a beautiful one. Okay, trying to get my mesh to lay where it needs to lay for an inside. Look, it's filling up our center perfectly, and we still have one more inside piece to go. This would make a really good coffee wreath, because these are all the colors of coffee beans, right? You have your dark, the like black, a dark roast, and a blonde roast in here. Trying to get my pipe cleaner situated so we have it lays in there nice. So we'll overlap. I'm going to take these and push them to the side. They're kind of getting in the way of everything else. Prep the outside for our next section. We're going to do the same here. Pipe cleaners to the left. we have 4 pieces left. Okay, entering in our last section. So we have the left piece. Move them to the left. Now we'll do our inside, our last inside. I've been looking for mocha. Okay, Darla, so this is going to work perfect for you. The one I bought from Joann's last year snags on itself, so hard to work with. Yeah, that's the downside, right? Is sometimes you want to find like the perfect mesh. I think this is going to do it for you. I think you're going to love not only how it feels, but you can tell that there's a different quality in there. Misty says, my favorite part of making the wreath is the bow and the embellishments. I agree. Mine's always the embellishments. I love adding the details, because I just think it's amazing what the little details can do. Even when you're doing floral wreaths, by the time you come in and you start adding all your accent florals, that just really changes the way everything looks. Okay, I'm going to tuck this one under so it stays out of my way. Okay, 2 more pieces. And then we'll start adding our ribbons to the outside. Now we are staying with a little bit of the trending farmhouse ribbon, but we're kind of going with a black and tan. So folding those over, making sure we've got access to both sides. There we go. Move to the left, and we're going to have to squeeze this little one in right in here. Last piece is always the most challenging, but oh, look at that wreath. That is just gorgeous. Now I'm like, I'd love to do a coffee one with those colors. Is to get that piece in, and then we can get it all situated. Okay, so now we just make sure it's all fanned out and that it finds a home here in this design, just like so. And we're all set. So there is the coverage. So right now the wreath measures 24 inches. By the time we add everything else, it's going to probably add just a touch more. It'll probably be closer to 25, 26 inches. Kelly says, can you use fabric mesh on outside wreaths? Yes, indeed you can. You're just going to probably want to really emphasize the protection of that. But it does have, you know, the polypropylene as the actual fiber for all the, or for the base for all the fibers. So it would definitely hold up. But I would definitely include, you know, make sure you keep it kind of covered, because it's going to last longer. And then remember, this is a darker color. So darker colors are prone to fade. What you can do is you can offer to add in some UV spray, and you can UV spray the whole thing. Pros and cons of UV spray: it helps, but you have to reapply it every 6 weeks to make sure that it really does the job that it's supposed to. All wreaths are going to eventually fade depending upon how they're taken care of on the outside. So just make sure that you're really clear on your care instructions, you know, how to take care of it. So these are our ribbon combinations. So we are going with a black and white ticking. We're doing a chicken print with the chickens, roosters, and baby chicks on a background of chicken wire. Then we're going to do a black and tan gingham paired with the pig, cow, and chicken. Our black and tan wreath that says Country Life, Simply Blessed, and Farm Fresh. For those of you that are looking for the measurements, all 1.5 inches are cut to 19-inch pieces. All 2.5 inches are cut to 14 inches. So we're going to go through and we are going to alternate the color combinations. So we're going to start with our chickens, and we're going to pair that with the black and white ticking. Just like so. And for the for the 1.5 inches, we're just going to fold them in half. Dovetails are already cut. We're going to go up about 2 inches from the top and pinch in. We're going to drop that right down into the center of our wreath. We're going to give it a couple twists. You're going to open up the loop, and then you have one that's right side and one that's wrong. You're going to flip the wrong side pattern so that it is facing up. And I like to kind of lay the 1.5 inches, but what do I want to put where? I'm not sure if I want to put speckled eggs with the black and tan, or if I want to put speckled eggs with the black and tan, or black, white, and tan. It's kind of like a tan color. It's not completely cream. But I do plan on adding raffia in here as well. Let's just leave them all on and we'll figure it out when we get to that point. You guys can tell me what you think. Rosalind asked, do I have a schedule? So my public lives are Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, which is 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Thursdays, I go mornings. So it's 11 a.m. Pacific Time, which is 1 o'clock your time, or Central, or 2 o'clock. I'm going to flip this one back over. 2 o'clock Eastern Time. So those are the 2 days that I go live. So just remember, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Thursdays is evening, kind of evening. It's not really evening for me, but late evening. Or late afternoon, I should say. So here's our black and tan paired there. Okay, so we're going to dial down all that darkness and kind of pop some lighter colors in. So I'm always folding my 2.5 inch mesh so that I can know where the center is. This way, when I lay it in my pipe cleaner and I fan my ribbon, Missy says, so put the eggs in with the darker. I know that would really pop, right? That would really make it look nice. Maybe I will do that. And then I was like, okay, well, I have like raffia, but I also found dark brown raffia too. So maybe that'll work. Oop, girl, what are you doing? Yes. I was trying to put it in a totally different place. Sometimes I just, like, if I was doing this by myself, I would just focus on one set of tails and I'd put all my embellishments, like, in one thing, so that when I go to the next one, technically I'm done in that section. Okay, we're fanning this one out. Black and tan. I love this black and tan. I was sorting through all my ribbons and found out I have like 6 rolls of this color. So there was a reason why I love this color combination. But I think you're right. I think we will do the speckled eggs with the darker set of ribbon. Do you guys have any other questions that I can answer for you? I do have a YouTube channel, so if you guys are looking for other videos that I may have done in the past, like, oh, well, you said you've done a red chicken one or a blue chicken one, you can go to my YouTube channel, which is Kat's Creations Race, and you can look. I think there's like 350 tutorials in there from like 2018 to like current. So there's a lot of binge watching. That's like if you watched one video a year, you'd almost make it the whole year. And I think I want to do black and tan on top. So I'm going to focus putting my black and tan ribbon as the primary ribbon. Just because when you get closer to those sides that are pretty close. We need to pull this one back a little bit. It's kind of cheating on the other one right here. I would have missed it. The ribbon. Where did the ribbon come from? All of this ribbon is from Craft Outlet. Well, the reason why I pick Craft Outlet so much is see, now I'm starting to get hot because we're hitting that 50-degree mark. The reason why I picked Craft Outlet is because Craft Outlet has the lowest minimum find everything I want right on their site. So what I do is I keep a list out in my shop that when I run out of something I keep in stock, and it may not be in stock at the time I need to reorder it, I will put it on a wait list. So when I do, pop over to Craft Outlet and take a peek, I can also include those items so I don't forget to add them. Because I don't know if you guys are like me, I forget. I'm like, do I still have this color ribbon? AKA black and tan gingham. I don't think I have any of that. I should probably order more. I love the ticking. That to me definitely says farmhouse. And we said we're going black and tan predominantly on the top. I can't wait for the spring and the summer when we can open the shop doors and just kind of do it right on the edge. So the backdrop's going to be just gorgeous. And who knows, we might have deer that stop by. So that would be interesting. Okay. We're almost there. Just a couple more. And don't forget, sometimes when you're not sure what to make, if you don't have any everyday wreaths in your shop, make sure those are constantly staying in your shop. you know, do an everyday welcome, do something farmhouse, do a nice grapevine floral that could basically, you know, work at any time of the year. Just make sure you have those. I forget. Like, I haven't done a beach wreath in the longest time. So that will probably be one of my next everyday wreaths. Will be a beach wreath. Trying to look and see. I think I have one beach wreath, but we need to add some new designs. Kelly said, let me see. What's the ribbon cut at? Let me make sure that I'm answering your question. So Misty says, what's the ribbon cut at? So the 2.5 inch tails are at 14 inches. The 1.5 inches are at 19. And then Shelby says, how do you make a wish list on Craft Outlet? I just create, I have like a clipboard with paper on it, and I just write what it is that I'm looking for, like ombre, black, brown, and tan fabric mesh, and then I write the SKU number down. But if it's out of stock on Craft Outlet, you can sign up for their email. There's a way that they'll email you when they have that back in stock. But see, when they do that, I need to go back to my list and go, okay, so that's back in stock. Is there anything else I need to order at the same time so I can qualify for that free shipping? Because I always make sure that I order enough so that shipping is free. Okay, last one. Kelly says, how did you decide which half bows to put with the tails? I love your combo, but I always seem to put dark and light together and never considered I could keep light with light and dark with dark. You're right. Most of the time I do the same. I pair dark with light and light with dark this time. And I've done it in a couple wreaths. In the last couple designs, I've gone same color palette with same color palette. So like this one, black and tan, stayed black and tan. I just thought that they pull the same look out. Like this complements the black and tan really well. It's just a matter of me like putting one ribbon next to the other and saying, you know, do you like the way that looks? I just liked this combo better. So that's why I decided to do this one this way. Okay, we are all done. It is time for us to make our bow. So I am going to set this aside and grab our Bowdabra. Very little fraying, but still fray. The only way you can make that go away is if you do E6000 spray. Like wait till the whole thing's done and then spray it. It'll help make it harder for it to fray, but it doesn't prevent it from fraying. So let's pull all our ribbons out. So we have our country ribbons, the 2.5s. We have our black and tan and our ticking. Oops. And we're introducing a tan with black Swiss dot, and then we're also doing this black and tan diagonal plaid. So I think I want this one on the outside. I like this pattern for some reason, although we're definitely going to do the farmhouse because I have like 4. I have 4 that are black and tan, and we need to really break up all of this. So I think what I'm going to do is I always play with these so that I can see how they lay. I think I'm going to do that. I think I like that for the look. Looking. So we're going to follow my bow recipe for what's considered an 11-inch loop diameter bow. So I'm going to set this here, see if you guys can read that. Make sure it stays within the focus of the camera. So this formula requires 2 2.5-inch bows, 4 1.5-inch ribbons, but you can mix it up. And what I mean by 11-inch loop size diameter bows, it means measuring by the loop size, not the tail size. So we're going to start the first one. So it's going to be a 10-inch tail with a 5.5-inch loop. 2.5 just means 2.5-inch ribbon. So we're going to start with a dovetail, which is wired edges together. We are going to cut from the folded side down to the wired point. And that's how we get a really pretty dovetail, fishtail, ducktail, whatever you want to call it. And we need to measure out 10 inches. So we're going to gather at the 10 and we're going to twist. And then we're just going to place that right inside the Bowdabra. And we need 5.5-inch loops. So I just guesstimate, but then I always bring my Bowdabra back to the 10. Stretch out my loops. We're like 5. Now we're at 5.5. 5.5. And then I can go ahead and do the other side. Measure this. 5.5. And then we're going to go back out to 10 inches. And dovetail that in. And then this one is done. And then we're going to grab our chicken ribbon. And we're going to tackle the next one. 9.5-inch tail with a 5-inch loop. 2.5-inch. This bow recipe is actually on my website for free. So you can just go to catscreationsandmore.com. I'll see if I can pin this. I don't know if I can pin. Usually I always have Steve do all that stuff. Or somebody else who's here. So I can keep on working. So 5-inch loops. And right from the page when you get there, if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see the bow recipe. And I actually designed it so it goes on a recipe card. So it's just something cute. But then you always have this available for when you want a bow that will meet the dimensions you want it to be. So I already know what that size bow looks like. So that's why I'm using it. Lori, great question. Do you have to be a business to buy from Craft Outlet? No. Anybody can buy from Craft Outlet. Shelby says it won't accept my email address. I wish I can set up an account. Do you have a free email address like a Gmail or a Yahoo? It might be that you already have an account set up. And maybe you just kind of can't remember the password. You can always call Craft Outlet direct too, Shelby, and tell them, hey, I'm having a difficult time setting up my email to notify me. Thanks, Kelly. There we go. Did I pin it? Hold on a sec. Yes, it's pinned. Okay, thank you so much, Kelly. You're the bomb. You are the bomb. Okay, next one. We're going 9-inch tail, 4.5-inch loop. So 9-inch. We're going down here. We're going to twist, place it inside. We're going to measure out. Oops, I keep knocking that over. Let's do this. 4.5-inch tail. Okay, we're right at 4.5. Do it on both sides. I love this black and tan. See, this is why I had to get my ribbons out of my tubs, because I had like 4 or 5 tubs that were just like, when I would order ribbon, I would always order 2. So I never knew where the second roll was. And then when we moved, I just kind of put those in tubs, just labeled them everyday ribbon. So they're not on my ribbon wall. But they will be going on the second ribbon wall when temperatures warm up. And we can actually spend time in here doing construction. I don't think you can pin, but generally a pin is like when you put a website address on it, like your comment, and then if you hold, like put your finger on it and hold the comment, if it says pin comment, then that's how you pin it. Okay, next one is 8.5 inch tail, 4.5 inch loop. So I'm just measuring, twisting. And since this one is the same as what we just did, loop size, here's a shortcut. You're just going to put your fingers in both loops, pull till they're both the same length. You're going to pull more on the top one than the bottom. The bottom one is more like a guide. And then you want to go back out, oops, and measure this at 8.5 inches. Dovetail in. Okay, this one is done. And then we're going to do our diagonal. This is our 8 inch tail, 4 inch loop. So I have just trained myself to repeat the process. Like I always, like when I'm laying my ribbons in, I always dovetail. Because if I deviate away from that, I'll forget. So habits don't make us perfect. It just makes them permanent. So you just kind of get into a groove. Like when you drive to work every day and you don't remember your drive to work, you just know you got there. It's just muscle memory. And this one is 8 inches. Dovetail our ends. Okay, and the last one is our black and tan gingham. Up and over. This last one is 7.5 inch tail, 3.5 inch loop. So 7.5. I'm super excited to see this on my black door. Thank God my black door is like where it's currently facing. Because I think this is going to just really pop on black. I think it'll really pop on white too. So I might take pictures on both. Because then that kind of helps the customer visualize, hey, I have a black door. That's going to look really good on my door. 7.5 inches. Dovetail. That one's all done. Okay, we are going to grab the pipe cleaner. I'm going to use black. I fold it into a U before I start because it's so much easier when you go to pick it up to already have your, even if you're using a zip tie, have all that stuff ready before you attempt to pull it out of the Bodabra. So as I'm pulling it out, I'm pushing on, I have my thumbs on this side and this side. I'm pushing, bringing that up, I drop that right down, hold it at the bottom of your stack, and just twist the stack. And then that's all done. And then we'll grab our fluff board, which is right now nothing more than a 24 by 24 inch piece of pre-cut plywood from Home Depot. It's an inch thick with an 1.5 inch C-hook in it. All it does is I could technically fluff my bow here, but I have nothing to keep it from moving around. This, once I attach this, which is just slide it under the hook like so. Let me zoom in so you guys can see. There's a little C-hook, so it's just under my pipe cleaner so that it won't move. So we are going to refer to this stack as top, this stack as bottom. Let me just make it a little bit wider so you can see them all. And we're going to start from the bottom of our top stack. I'll just move my pipe cleaner out of the way. So it doesn't matter whether you pull your tail to the left and your loop to the right, or either or, like you can do loop over here, tail over here. Whatever you do at the top, you're going to do opposite to the bottom. So we have a loop here going to the bottom stack. I'm going to move my loop to the left, my tail to the right, and then I'm going to go back to the stack and I'm going to go opposite of this. So now I'm going to move my tail to the left or to the right and my loop to the left. And what it's going to do is it's going to start to toggle different colors and separate by loops and tails. So back to the other side, we're keeping our loop here and our tail's going to go over here. So see how that worked? We have black and tan, black and cream, black and tan, black and cream, black and tan, and on and it goes. So now I'm going to, because I don't want all the black and tan to be on the same side, I'm going to break this up and I'm going to just make it follow a different path so that I don't have this on top of this. So I'm breaking the pattern in that I'm not really breaking it. I'm just doing a different design. So remember, whatever you do on the top, you just do opposite on the bottom. You can change it. So here's my loop and here's my tail. And then this time, when I lay these down, I've got another opposite, right? This kind of goes with that black and tan. We're just going to go opposite. And then from here, it's okay, because I have two black and tan ribbons, loop and tail, loop and tail. And then over here, we have a loop and tail, loop, and our tail. So as you can see, I have, if I grab all my tails correctly, my tails are all to the center, my loops are all top and bottom. This way, when I go to pair it with my sign, I already know. So I don't want tails impacting my sign. I don't want it blocking the design. So I need to know where they are. But there is no hard, fast rule that says that you cannot intermix your tails or even cut your tails so they're the same length as your loops. It's you as a designer. You make the executive decision. What do you like? Here I'm going to now fluff. So we're lifting the top two. Here, we're going to do the same. I'm going to leave the tails alone for now. Top two. Okay. Then I kind of like this one kind of going to the outside. So I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to have the ticking come up between the black and tan. And then we're going to have this one pop in over here to the outside. See, I'm just doing exact opposites. You don't even have to do that. If you want to put the black and tan in the inside on the top or the bottom, it's up to you. And then you're going to open the two loops at the bottom, your 2.5 inch. You're going to lift those. So now they're 3D. And I'm kind of having this black or cream and tan go between the black and tans. And then this is going to go between these. So just move it around, and then to put the curl back in, just run that ribbon through your fingers. You'll put all your curls back in. It'll kind of just fall along the same direction it was rolled on the ribbon. It's a little harder to do the very, very bottom one, but there is our bow. It's all done. So we're going to take this off, opposite the way we put it on. We'll move our fluff board. So, and we'll bring our wreath back over. We'll just set it here. We need to prep our sign a bit. So I am going to get my scraper tool. You can get this from Amazon. I'm going to very gently remove my label. And go ahead and take this one off. And then I'm going to go ahead and remove the twine that's on my sign. I already have my glue gun on. So I'm going to add a business card to the back. That way, should they forget where they ordered that from, because you know everyone does, we are going to just attach this right over the center, just like that. That way, they already know where they made that purchase from. So I'm going to use my brown pipe cleaners to attach my sign. So I'm just going to kind of fold those into a little V shape. I'm going to use my staple gun. We're going to staple this using 1/4" staples right to my sign, right on the edge. Just like so. I'm like, where did my hanger go? And then we're going to twist, just so they don't slide out. Our sign is all prepped. It's all ready to go. Now I can ring this over and we can get ready to attach everything. Okay, so I think I'm going to want, there's a lot going on here. So let's take our bow and see where everything can go. I usually like my bow to frame my sign, which means that the 2.5 inch will kind of form a little frame for that. I want it to go a little on the higher side, like that, I think, because we're going to add a chicken to this. So I think that's right where I want my sign. So I'm going to move my mesh that is in the way, and I'm going to drop this down to my frame. Just get your pieces through and then go ahead and determine where you want your sign to stop. Like, how far down do you want it to go? Most of the time you don't want it to sink all the way to the bottom. So I'm just moving my mesh out of the way and then going, I want this one up a little bit higher. Okay, so right about there. So I'm not going to worry so much about refluffing all the stuff that I'm kind of smashing on my way down. I'm going to take these because this is my bow home, my landing pad for my bow, which means if I don't take some of these and kind of prep that area, then my bow is just going to float in the air and everything is going to get in the way. So just like that, but I need to make sure these right here are not impacted by that. So just like that. So I'm just kind of fluffing, pulling on my mesh that might be tucked under the sign. Just like this. Need it way up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add our bow. And I'm trying to make sure that my ribbon is in the right direction. At least the tail part. So we're going to kind of drop that right here. That's where our ribbon is going to go. So it's going to go right on the edge of the quarter of my sign, which means there's a lot of deca mesh to go through. A whole lot of mesh. But hopefully, and because that's such a thick fiber for our fabric mesh, that's a lot of stuff that can get tangled on your pipe cleaner. Almost had it. Okay, almost there. So now I'm going to take this and push the bow down to the depth I need it to stay. And I'm going to go ahead and twist. So that now I can take and frame my sign. Bring all my ribbon tails down, just like this. Open everything else back up. I'm going to move this one over so we get it back up in the general direction it's supposed to be. There we go. Now it's situated. Look how cute. Isn't that adorable? Okay, now the fun begins. The embellishments, right? So we already said we are going to put the speckled eggs where our black and tan ribbons are. Kelly's suggestion, which I think is good. So I'm just removing my pipe cleaners from those areas, and then just like where they're cut, like right here, I am just trimming them right where they are not still twisted, taking this little edge and going all the way around the back so we don't see it any longer. Just like so. And so that's what I'm doing. Just snipping the ends off. I'm going to go ahead and tuck that. Flip it. Tuck that behind. One over here. And then I think we have one under our bow. We do, right under here. Tuck. Open. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue. Well, before we do that, let's go ahead and add our chicken. Add our chicken to this. You guys know that when I add my embellishments, I don't glue them and just stick them in there so that they can never be used again. Technically, if you wanted to, you could pull them out and use them, but we're going to use this adorable little chicken. And this is from Where is it from? Dollar General, I think. There we go. Trying to give him a roost to nest in. Probably like that. It's going to be slightly over my my rooster sign, but not by much. Let me show you what it looks like. So he's a beige and striped rooster, and I didn't purchase him. A friend of mine, Gail, purchased him for me when she found him. They were like $5 at Dollar Tree about 4 years ago. That's about how long I've had him. So we are going to use floral wire to attach him so that if somebody doesn't like the chicken, they can take him off. So I'm going to need 2 pieces of wire to secure him into the frame. The easy way would just be take gobs of glue, put glue all over the side of it, and then just go ahead and, you know, tuck him in there. So I'm going to do one right here underneath his wing. So since he's fabric, the 22 gauge floral wire is going to go right through. I'm going to loop it so it doesn't pull all the way out. Okay, that will create one anchor point for him. And then I'm going to probably do something up and around his head so that his head will stay into the frame. Otherwise, he'll flop like this. Sorry, Mr. Chicken. I know. I don't mean to do this. So, again, same thing. We're going to twist. But before we do that, I want to give my chicken a nest. So let's make a raffia nest. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. And I'm going to attempt to find the beginning. There's the beginning. So we're going to take a little bit of our raffia. We're going to try to keep this intact all the way through. I can generally never get them to work perfectly. There we go. I think that's way too much, but we'll save some for our raffia pieces. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a bundle of raffia and I'm going to go back and forth and make a bundle like so. Okay, I'm going to take a beige pipe cleaner. Try to keep this even, just like so. Twist this. I'm going to tuck this in right here to my wreath. Just like so. And we're going to go ahead and tuck that down in just like that. So that when I add our chicken is sitting on a nest, just like so. And we'll readjust the raffia once we get said chicken in. So let's go ahead and wire the chicken in. Oops. There we go. There's one side. My floral wire is bending because I'm hitting the bundles. Okay, so close. Again, bending. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to grab that, pull both ends down, nice and tight. This one you want to come to the frame. Okay, then we're going to take our raffia and refluff the chicken nest. And we still have accessibility to our tails and ribbons on the outside. Now, here's what it looks like. We're going to attach our chicken's head down here underneath our sign. Trying to get it to go where I know the frame is. See why some people just prefer to slap glue on it and just drop it into their design. But here I'm like, technically you can snip the wires and just pull them out if you want to add them to your home's decor. Okay. It should be going straight down. I just haven't felt it yet. There it is. Is that right? Yes. Hold on just one second. I'm trying to get it to go around my frame. Okay, pull Mr. Chicken Head down. This way he doesn't flop in the wind. Nobody wants a flopping chicken in the wind. Okay, still have all of our tails here to the outside. They're all still functional. Once we get the rest of the pipe cleaners off, it'll look amazing. But that's what it looks like so far. Just like that. That's adorable chicken wreath. Okay, so let's go in and start gluing in our eggs. So I have speckled eggs. These you can find right now. Hobby Lobby, Michaels, a long time ago because I can buy them in a big package. So I'm just going to glue these in. So glue temperature set to high because I need these to stay in. We are tucking these right underneath every single one of our black and tan ribbons. So I'm just taking the ugly end of our egg, putting in a big dollop, lifting this up, plopping it right underneath our ribbon tail, just like so. Add one over here. Scoot it around. Tuck this inside. Let's get the one underneath. Let's get the pretty side up. And then our last one. So if you've ever thought about doing chicken eggs, now's the time to go find all those speckled eggs. So that if you do a chicken ribbon or chicken wreath later, you already have all your eggs. Okay. Then we are going to add raffia to the outside pieces. And I do have that dark brown. So we are going to add some dark brown. This was from Hobby Lobby during the fall. And I've never used the brown. See if we can actually get it to come out of its bundle. Wow, whichever bundle I grabbed was the wrong bundle. There we go. Okay. So we're going to take 3 pieces of our brown. We're going to pair that with 3 pieces of our beige. I like to try to keep the ends as close as possible. And you're just making little baby bundles. So these are probably like 6 inches. We'll go ahead and cut that off. Little bundles. These are going in with our black and tan ribbon. Twist those all in. So that we have, let me spin this around so you can see what it looks like. There's our baby bundles. Okay, 3 more. We've got to do this 6 times. We'll grab another 3 from our regular raffia. Trying to keep them all. There we go. Same little bundles. I'm just literally putting it the width of my hand, just a back and forth. And tucking them the same place with the eggs, right underneath the loops. And then just kind of fluffing the raffia out a bit. Oh, no worries, Irvina. She said, I just got the notification. Yeah, it's weird how Facebook is doing that lately. It makes all the notifications be really weird. Like, it doesn't notify when it should. And I think that had something to do with that big, huge update they did. So, bundles. We can add that. Some of these are a little too long. I missed the section. Trying to get my pipe cleaner situated so I can twist it in. We're just doing a different version of chicken wreath for 2023. I don't want them always to look the same. I want them to always be slightly, just a little bit different. Okay, we've done that one. We've got a couple down here at the bottom. Trying to keep my raffia away from my space heaters. That would not be a pretty thing. It would get a viral hit on Facebook and YouTube though. Did you see the wreath maker who started a fire during her live? That would not be funny. I'm just pulling these from that big huge bundle mess. Sometimes you've got to break up those thicker pieces because they're just way too thick. But you do want to make sure your bundles are even on both sides. Like you don't have too much on one side. So just fluff your raffia. Okay. There we go. 1, 2. This would look adorable out on my chicken coop, but it's too pretty. So we've got one last bundle that's under our bow. What do you guys think so far? Last couple pieces. Okay. Too long of a tail for that one. Okay, a couple more little embellishments and then we are all finished. I do have chicken feathers, so we're going to add some chicken feathers to those eggs. You can get these online from Amazon. There's like 3 different colors. So I am going to kind of, if I can, mix and match a couple of them. Just like this. I'd like to get that spotted one. Just make a cute little bundle. Like that. So we can see all of them. And we're going to glue this right underneath our egg. Go right next to our egg. Right next to our egg. I'm just putting a little dot of glue. And then that bundle that I have, I'm just kind of tucking it in there. And I'll make another little bundle for the other side. It didn't all go the same way. Take that bundle that you have, place it in the glue that you have on either side, and let me show you. This is kind of what we're doing. Right there. So just making little baby bundles with chicken feathers that I got from Amazon so many years ago. Adding a little dab of glue. Tucking your feathers in. And that is all really I'm doing. I'm just putting them on either side so it has a nice little bundle right there. If you wanted to, you could add additional speckled eggs. You can add more ribbon if you wanted to fill in, but I don't think everything has to be completely filled in. I like having the contrast between the light and the dark. So I just make sure that I can see the dot that I added, and I'm just placing them on either side of the egg, because believe it or not, they wind up in the coop. They wind up outside the coop. There's generally feathers everywhere. So this is a controlled chicken wreath. So in the past, I've used like chicken wire ribbon. I just didn't want to do it on this particular one. Like I said, you just start to look for how can you make them different. And so we went darker on this one. We've got 2 more locations. I wish my chickens had enough feathers that I didn't have to go to Amazon to supplement, but sadly the ones I did have, my youngest daughter took with her when she was here. She just wanted them for her keepsake box. So that's where the majority of the ones I had collected from my own chickens went. Let's grab one of these ones. And I'm going to tuck a couple of these into our bow just so that it draws that whole theme back up and around. Let's look for some really pretty feathers. Let's grab this one. So I'm just going to tuck these in right by my bow. I'm all out of my little speckled ones I love so much. So I'm just placing them where I think they make the most sense in my bow. And then we're going to add a little dark speckled egg right in the inside. Because the one thing I have discovered in doing the whole chicken raising thing is chickens lay all different color eggs. They are not limited to just brown or white. They have all kinds. Blues, greens, lavenders. Just depends on the breed of your chicken. Okay, I think that will do it. Let me take the wreath off the door so I can show you what this looks like on our front door. Let's bring the door a little closer. Let's go ahead and put this up on our door so I can show you what it looks like. Full size. There we go. Hang tight. I'm going to move you up. There you go. And there is our chicken wreath for 2023. So we always make sure before pictures, before video, before all that stuff you make sure all of your ribbon tails are out, flat. You don't have any glue threads. That really shows up on a nice black door. That you have everything that you want seen available. This is available for sale on my website, so you can actually find it there if you're interested in purchasing it. It's the only one that I'll be making like this. Make sure I've got all these ones out. Same thing. So what do you guys think? This is our chicken wreath for 2023. Hope you guys like it. I love it. This is adorable. Just like so. I'm like thinking you could actually come in here and add some more eggs if you wanted to. I think I will. I kind of like the way that looks. Let's go one more. One more. Try to get it to the bottom. I think I will. I like the way that looks. So if we break it up with the eggs, I love the design. There you guys go. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those in. Add a couple more chicken feathers around those eggs. And we are done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this design. Don't forget to come back next week. Couple new designs. So we're going to do, I think we're doing a floral. I'm going to try to do new floral cross for 2023 and a new design, a totally new design. So I just got all my materials in. I can't wait to show you. So Tuesday and Thursday next week. And then Tuesdays, we go 11 Pacific, 1 Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for joining me, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye for now.